How's the sound now? Can you hear me? Anybody? Anybody? Am I even here? Am I even here? Can anybody hear me? Okay, good. All right, good. We just had to change the input. Anyway, I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by my malfunctioning tech that this is the Rocket Review. This is the Rocket Review here on our Thursday live stream. And you may be wondering why this is here. Super chat for a chance to win. That is because as part of our Rye versus Bourbon series, which we had our last installment on last week's stream, Erica and I decided that we need an impartial judge. We need an impartial judge. So anyone who super chats tonight, any amount, doesn't matter how much you super chat, will be entered to win a curated selection of samples, a tasting, as it were. One from Erica, one from me. Erica's will be the best bourbons, her opinion, the best bourbons that can be produced. And I will be giving the best ryes that I believe can be produced. We will send that to you. You're going to taste it. You're going to tell us which one wins, all right? And then we're going to feature you on a future episode or a future stream. Or if you're not comfortable coming on camera, we're just going to feature your notes. We're just going to feature what you thought of it. You're going to tell us who the winner was, okay? So anybody who super chats tonight will be entered in to win that, okay? So that's exciting. I'm going to keep track of that the old school way, pen and paper. You also, John Gunsel. Johnny G's breaking it out early. My man, Johnny G. Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. We got you, my man. So yeah, I'll bring up a random number generator at the end of this, and we'll see who wins. Yes, exactly. Isn't that how everyone settles their fighting? Yes. Super chat away for a chance to win and be a part of the Rock Gut Review experience. Also, little housekeeping. Oh, I forgot to say, who else? Ben Eves is in too. All right, Ben. This will be fun. Awesome. Also, before we get into it, I did want to let you all know that you can now purchase, hopefully this goes through, you can purchase on Teespring Rock Gut Review t-shirts. Go check it out at that link. It's right there in that link. They're very affordably priced, I think. But yeah, you may have seen some other people wearing them, such as the good people over at Cast Strength. Go check them out as well, because they were just wearing. Hey, Mash and Drum, how you doing, my dude? He's in too, apparently. Yes. Oh, and I forgot to mention Swillmageddon. Swillmageddon is also going on. Oh, okay. That's a Malort super chat. I'll have to drink some Malort for that. But I'm going to save that till after we do our delicious, delicious Ardbegs. Oh, we can't do that? Really? Doesn't what's it called? Doesn't ADHD do this all the time? Because doesn't he just do super chats to give away bottles? Well, whatever. How about this? You don't win samples. You can do super chats to be the judge. And if there just so happens to be samples sent along as well, that's just something that might happen. But you get to be part of the Rock Gut Review. Yeah, but he does it all the time. Like, yeah, anybody who super chats gets entered to win a bottle. Huh. Well, All right. Whatever. I'm going to say you get to be part of, you get to come on an episode. That's what it is. If you super chat, you get to come on an episode. And if there's samples involved, well, YouTube doesn't need to know about that. Just drink. Yes, that's what we're doing. That's what's happening. I'm drinking Malort for the super chats. That's what's happening, YouTube. Good call. Super chats are to drink Malort, and then I'm going to pick a random person. Thank you, Charles. Charles coming through with the ideas. My man Charles. Yeah, YouTube. We're not giving anything away for money. That's not how it's working. No, I'm drinking Malort. So I'm up to four drinks of Malort. Charles Ashworth, you're good people. All right. Here we go. Yeah, Don Holland says a lot of channels do this. So maybe we're all just breaking the rules. Whatever, we're breaking the rules. Breaking the law. Anyway, who all is in here? I forgot to say, hey, Mike Lizak saying, Colossal Clitoris Coalition for life. My dude, Mike. My dude. Yeah, fight the power. Rah, fight the power. Yeah, it's like a massage with a happy ending. There you go. This is the YouTube equivalent of a happy ending. All right. Who else is in? I know Florian's in. I know Eric Waite's in. I know Cohen is in. He was just watching, talking a show about cigars and Russell's Reserve. I don't smoke myself, but that sounds interesting. Mr. Whiskey Shits. That's a new name. That's a fun name. I like that. I don't know you, but I like the name. Thanks for coming by. AJ's here. Ben Eves is here. Mark Goings On is here. Who else is up in here? Tim Evans is here. A fellow Rye guy. DC is here. Patrick Fulmer just says rock on. All right. Again, this is not to win samples. You just happen to be giving me money for me to drink Malort, and then anybody might win a chance to get some samples. All right? That's how it's going. All right. Andrew Spurrell, good to see ya. Richie Z, I don't know if I mentioned you. It's good to see you. And this is all this is all just a channel to sell Jepson's Malort in the worst way possible, in the absolute worst way possible. Oh yeah, good point. Hold on. I gotta kill that. We should probably get rid of that if we're gonna here. How do we even get rid of that little thing? We don't even need that. Right? We don't really need that thing up there. How do you change that? In settings? StreamYard. StreamYard, you're annoying me. No, I don't like that. Don't need that in there. Do you love how excellent? There we go. Yeah, no money. No super chat to win. Super chat, no super chats to win. No one can win from super chats. All right? Yeah, right? A lot of other channels do that, right? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. How to do a giveaway legally. Okay, fair enough. We will not give away anything for super chats. We're not going to do it. But if you do super chat me, I will drink Malort. Wink. All right, let's get into this. So we've got the new Traigh Bhan in Gaelic, because Scottish Gaelic is a funny language where you don't pronounce things like you would in English. Actually, it is also funny because in Irish this would be Traigh Bhan, same meaning, white coast or white beach. Yeah, but the Irish would say it Traigh Bhan. The Scottish say it Traigh Bhan, or actually, Connacht Irish would say it Traigh Bhan, which is the one I learned. The Dubliners say things stupidly because they're basically English. Dubliners are basically just English people. But yeah, so this is the newest line extension from Ardbeg. 19 years old, a mixture of American oak and Oloroso sherry. Fun thing with this one, yeah, right. Doing a $300 bottle is funny, right? I know. I thought this was hilarious. So this is, I think it's certainly not the oldest Ardbeg, obviously. I mean, it's the oldest Ardbeg in the core line. I don't think there's ever been an older Ardbeg in the core line. Yeah, I think about $300 for this. About $300, depending on where you are. Yeah, so I wanted to compare this to some other Ardbegs I had laying around. We actually drank up a bunch of our Ardbegs, so I don't have as many as I thought I might, but we've got a couple to compare it to. I was going to drink this first, see what's going on with this, then compare it to our little group of Ardbegs that I've got here. Right, it is the oldest in the core line. Thank you, Mr. Whiskey Weddle. Yeah. So I was going to break out a few things. We've got a few things here to compare it to. One is the Boutique whiskey. Oh, can we get this to focus? Thank you. The Boutique single malt Scotch whiskey, Ardbeg. Which batch is this? Batch 15, aged 12 years. So a little bit younger on that one. Also, this bottle is stupidly expensive. This bottle's dumb. I think this like $375 was it's like $110 or something like that. Yeah. This one was hardcore. So yeah, what would that be? $210 for a fifth? Yeah. That's a little heavy. We liked it though. We liked it. We did have a review up of it. We've also got Ardbeg Supernova. This is the heaviest peated Ardbeg they ever made, or one of the line of heaviest peated Ardbegs they've ever made. This one was the 2019 release, so that's awesome. And also Ardbeg Black. This one's not going to be anything like the others. We already know this. And we also have some wee Beastie. Now, I did have some Kelpie flying around. I did have some Kelpie earlier. But Erica drank most of that while I was in quarantine, and then luckily enough, she left me some to finish it off. Balcones had a UK exclusive release of Juntos that was about $130. Ouch. Dang. So yeah, we're gonna drink that. Speaking of Balcones, I don't know if you brought up Balcones, or I did, I don't remember. But yeah, Balcones is finally here in the state of Wisconsin. I was about to say states because I was thinking of Britain, but yeah. I am so excited for this. We'll have a little bit of this after the Ardbeg tasting, which probably isn't the right order to do that in, but I don't care. This is not a very good channel. Yeah, so Texas Pot Still Bourbon. I was super excited to see we finally got this in. It was supposed to come in April. right around my birthday. It was supposed to come in around my birthday, and then it didn't because of the pandemic, because the pandemic is evil and terrible and it's killing everything I love. But they finally made it in. Super excited for that. But we'll get to that later. Let's see here. Charles Asher says, drink something cheap quick or we'll have to change the channel name. Okay, let's break out the Traigh Bhan. You know, it's funny because the packaging on this, this is something I want to talk about that I think Ardbeg is doing super, super well. I'm also going to wet the cork on this because it was sitting on a shelf for a minute. Also, man, we had to wait so long for this bottle. Like a lot of other places got this bottle back at the end of 2019. Wisconsin had to wait forever for this goddamn bottle. It makes me sad. It makes me sad. But it's here now. It's here now. That's the important thing. I gotta say, I am digging Ardbeg's packaging. Really, really digging Ardbeg's packaging. I do see that we're getting a little political in the chat. That's okay. Keep it civil, guys. Just keep it civil. So I usually don't go for packaging that much. I really don't give too much crap about packaging. But I do really like the things Ardbeg is doing right now. And I think you can kind of see that with this one, where it's a mixture of this really cool rock face. And then it's also got their wee doggy, like their wee pup, like wandering around the beach. Isn't that cute? Mike Litzak, that can be your super chat. How about that? That can be your super chat. I'll make a peated Malort blend. And I really like, and then like the dogs digging in the sand here. I think that's super cute. And when you pop it open, you've got Shorty, the peatiest nose on Isla, apart from Ardbeg, that is. This is something I think Ardbeg is doing really, really well. I think a lot of, Irish and Scottish distillers they tend to lean really heavily into that old school Gaelic shit, right? A lot of whirls and interlace and just a lot of like you stuff you'd expect to see in an old school whiskey bar, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's kind of old school, right? Right? Ardbeg is kind of pushing that a little bit. They still got this Isla Gaelic feel, but they're also adding in some cutesy little cartoonish elements, which I think is really awesome. Sawyer Fam Cincy. Yes, we went from Old Crow to this. Thank you, Sawyer. And just so you know, that super chat entitles you to me drinking Malort, but definitely does not put you in a giveaway of any sort. All right? I promise. You're not in any sort of giveaway. Definitely not. Anyway. Yeah, I really dig this. And I think they did the same thing with Supernova, where they've got the wee aliens and, you know, the UFOs. Why does this not want to focus? Why can't I get this little sack of shit to focus? There we go. But yeah, look at that. I love this stuff. And they kept the interlace pattern. But it's still got this very cutesy little thing. I would love to see more whiskey producers do that, whether you're on this side of the Atlantic or the other. Can we get away from all the old, staid stereotypes with the deer horns and the Gaelic shit, or if you're bourbon, it's always the very kind of southern stereotype stuff. Can we get closer to what craft beer is doing, where they're having some fun with their labeling? I just feel like that would be cool. Ardbeg sucks. I suck, Ardbeg. Oh, yes. Absolutely. I know you do. Joey Shortpants is in. I don't know if I mentioned him. Good to see you, man. So I gotta say, 19 years old, you'd expect some peat to have kind of rubbed off. You know, the longer peated stuff is in the wood. You expect it to lose some smokiness. Yes, I want Techno Viking whiskey. That's exactly what I want. I need Techno Viking whiskey in my life. All right, Don Holland is saying everyone does super chat giveaways. It's okay. All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're in for a penny, in for a pound. Super chat, just get some samples. We're in. Eric, thank you for your advice. If my channel gets taken down, you can say you told me so. But until then, super chat to get entered into the competition to be the judge of our bourbon versus rye tasting. Okay, you'll get your tasting. Yes, Silverlock Whiskey Club, mellowed down. I do think this certainly isn't excessively smoky. I'll say that, but that is ashy. That is really, really ashy. It's not billowy smoke. It's got an ashy kind of earthy thing to it. Also, like, it does smell more woody, but it's not super tannic. It doesn't smell tannic and wood spicy. It has just a touch of that. What was I gonna say? Like a caramely. It's not butterscotch though. It's not butterscotch, but it's slightly sweet. It's a slightly burned sugar kind of thing. The other thing that's interesting about this one is it's like tart. Whiskey Sweatle says you should send out my large samples. Oh wait, if when we send out our samples next time, when we send out, me and Erica send out samples. One of those samples is going to be Malort, and you're going to have to figure out which one. There's going to be an odd number. There's going to be an odd number of samples, and one of them is secretly Malort. You get to figure out which one. Okay. Yeah, but interestingly tart. Like, super interestingly tart. I gotta say, like, I was thinking some kind of citrus almost, but it's not. Like it is a, no, I guess it is kind of like a sweeter citrus kind of thing. Maybe a lime-ish. Is that the new Ardbeg 19? This is the one that just hit shelves today. So batch number 21809/20. So yeah, I guess so. I assume that 20 means it's the newest one. Or I guess it hit shelves last week for us. Just we'll never get super chat again if we sample our samples. It's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. This is interesting and subtle. It reminds me of like the sugar, like the sugar rim on a margarita you made with mezcal, right? Like if you made a margarita with mezcal, right? And then, yeah, just a little bit of sugar on the rim, just a touch of sugar, just a teensy little bit. And it actually, that nose does have a somewhat phenolic, it's phenolic, but it's not just ashy. I think the closest thing I can compare it to would actually be, here's the thing. This is going to sound bad because some people really hate Connemara cask strength. Some people despise Connemara cask strength. And I don't think Ardbeg smells like Connemara cask strength, but it has a slight element that is a little bit similar to the Connemara. Not the base product, the cask strength specifically. It's the same thing you find with the Matsui. The Matsui from who distills the Matsui? Guys, help me out. I can't remember. Matsui. Oh, Kiriyoshi. Kiriyoshi distills the Matsui. But it's the same thing you get with Connemara and the Matsui. I have batch 1. I heard batch 2 is better. I like batch 1, just too damn expensive. Yeah, this one was expensive too. I assume this has to be batch 2 because it says TB02. I would assume. I would guess. But both of these have a very slight, well, actually not slight in the case of Connemara. The Connemara is straight up burning tire fire. This is straight up burning tire fire. So there is a slight similarity to it in this batch 2 Traigh Bhan. But it's not like a tire fire. It's more like just a slight like a overheated computer, like a slight overheated computer. All right, let's get a taste. I've been talking about this for the last 15 minutes, just the nose. All the petrochemicals on fire in Ireland flavor that Connemara. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. That's really good. I gotta say the front really dials up the tart, like the limeness, I should say. A little bit of that tartness, a little bit of that citrusiness. And actually it fades into kind of a very subtle, a super subtle tannic note. This is not like a chewy whiskey, you know what I mean? It's not it's not just like a big tannic bomb, it's not super chewy. It's just the slightest woody spice. And the finish is super ashy. That ash that was on the nose comes back big time on the finish. That ash just hangs with you. But still, I'm actually getting a little bit of a plum jam mixed with ash in the finish. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. See, I have had mixed experiences with the Connemara cask strength, just because sometimes I'm like, okay, I like that, and sometimes I'm like, that is just overpoweringly, yeah, petrochemically, just so petrol. That said, when it comes to the Matsui, I didn't like the Matsui that much because it's got the same kind of thing as Connemara, but with less. It doesn't even have that kind of smokiness. It's just petrochemical. Erica liked this one better though. Me and the old man thought that one was pretty nasty. Erica kind of liked it. So to each their own. Good. This is the first part of the way he's dropping ash. Is it worth $380? That's a hard ask. I like it a lot, but depending. Well, let's compare it to some of these other Ardbegs real quick. Let's break out a couple of these other Ardbegs because I'm gonna say, because if you can find, well, let's do Supernova. Let's do Supernova and the Boutique. Let's go down the line in terms of expensiveness. Because, so starting over here with our super expensive Ardbeg Traigh Bhan, that is like a comparatively very subtle, easygoing Ardbeg. Like there are layers to this. There are layers. I'm getting, like, now that this is opening up, there is some darker fruit too in there, a little bit of grapiness. So there are definitely layers to that. But again, okay, here we go. Let's get into this. Well, I can tell you right now, the nose on the Ardbeg Traigh Bhan is going to beat the pants off of Boutique. Not a problem. Not a problem. This Boutique is, this is like dried seaweed wrapped around caramel. Like smoke, like a sea salty caramel. Super vegetal though. This is that mezcal note, but even heavier. Super, yeah. That carameliness just does not come through at all. Like there's just a little touch of it, and then it's gone. It's dead. It's murdered by that super vegetally mezcal note. Yeah, I've got to say that actually, on the taste, those two are somewhat comparable. Interestingly enough, 7-year age difference. This is obviously independent bottled, so definitely its own thing. Obviously, not blended by Ardbeg themselves, but if you like really vegetal seaweedy Isla, like not smoky, more like, yeah, like a sweet seaweed thing, a dried seaweed cracker with a little bit of sugar. But I gotta say, it doesn't have the same complexity as a Traigh Bhan. I will say that this is much more punchy. This has a lot more bigger flavor in terms of that seaweediness. Like that flavor is big. It's in your face. It wants to get you. But it doesn't have the layers that the Traigh Bhan does. Where the Traigh Bhan has more tartness, kind of it's not. I always hesitate to call like a whiskey acidic, right? Because whiskey, it's not like wine. It's not like wine where you get like a lot of acidity. You don't get a lot of super Orthodox Jews in your whiskey. Acidity, not hacidity. Hey, 2-Bit Steak, one of our newest patrons. I'm definitely not noting you down for any kind of giveaway, 2-Bit Steak. I've never had that. I can't say that I've had that. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. Yeah, can't say I've ever had that happen. Richie Z, yes, please do mash that like button. If you haven't mashed that like button, that would be awesome. Hey, and Run Rev Collins is here, another one of our new patrons. Thank you so much, Mr. Collins. All right, let's bring out the Supernova though. I mean, but here's the thing. I really like a big, brash, heavy dose of peat. So if I'm buying a bottle, I might go for the Boutique just because if I want subtlety and easygoingness and just like, you know, really nuance, and I have to go in and dig and find stuff, I might buy a Highland or a Speyside, right? Am I going to go and buy the Traigh Bhan? like if what I really want is a big peaty blast. I don't know. I might not. Yeah, interestingly though, those are pretty similar on the taste. Yeah, weird. That boutique, way closer to the Traigh Bhan than I ever would have guessed. Way closer on the taste. I mean, it doesn't have that tartness. It doesn't have the lime. Similar ashiness, similar plum notes. A lot of the same characteristics there. So that's kind of fun. Eric, wait. They should add that just for our channel. That would be perfect. Supernova on the nose after an hour in the glass is pineapple, menthol cigarette, sea spray, distant dead bonfire. I suppose it also might matter which Supernova you're drinking. This is the 2019 for anyone wondering. I gotta say, this Supernova is not. This was one of my favorite Ardbegs. I think it actually is my favorite Ardbeg. I gotta say, this is a much more earthy kind of peat. I associate Ardbeg with a very heavy dose of like bacon fat. Super, like Ardbeg 10, I think of as super bacon fatty. Super bacon fatty. Like smoked bacon, sizzling, burning, fat drippings, all that stuff. This one's much more earthy, not billowy smoke, not bacon fat. This is muddy. This is trench, right? This is Ardbeg down in the trenches, getting that mud, getting that earth, getting that dark peat. Octomore is $100 less than the Traigh Bhan. Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to justify the price tag on that, right? 240. That sounds about right. I think I paid. I don't know what the retail was because I always forget that. Southern Heartbeats, man, Fatback. I love Fatback. That's my thing. Love Fatback. Well, and Cohen makes a good point. Octomore is a young, very different kind of whiskey. True. They are trying to make a very different kind of whiskey to what they're making here. They're both peated. They're both heavily peated. Octomore more so. But like this, the Octomore is a young whiskey leaning into the peat. This is a peated whiskey leaning into the wood. I guess it depends on what you prefer, right? Like if you just want big blast, yeah, you probably would go for the Octomore. If you just want a big blast of peat with some nuances thrown in, yeah, you would go for the Octomore. If you want nuance backed up with peat, maybe you'd go for the Traigh Bhan. Yeah, but guys, I just remembered why I love Supernova 2019 so much. I gotta say, for the taste alone, if you have the option between Supernova 2019, if you can find this bottle somewhere, and you're questioning whether you should buy this or the Traigh Bhan, this all day. I'll say that right now. I was hemming and hawing about the boutique. This son of a bitch is what you need to buy. If you can find this son of a bitch right here, this beautiful, glorious, alien motherfucker, this is the one you need to get. Like, and honestly, it'll probably be cheaper. It might be cheaper than this, considering how much they're charging for this motherfucker. 50-50 blend of Supernova 2019 and Corey Brecken. I would love to do that. I'm pretty sure Eric could drink all my Corey Brecken. For someone who's such a goddamn Laphroaig fan, she sure does drink all of my fucking Ardbeg. Oh, she just came in and flipped me off. Her meeting must be over. Hi, sweetie.
It's also not true. You drink some of it.
Well, yeah, and Eric Waite is saying it punches him in the back of the throat. It sure does, and I love it. I think AJ was saying there's some freshly dumped ex-bourbon. Yeah, you can tell. This is beautiful. I think, like, hold on, let me get into this. Like fried plantain almost. Fried plantain with like Antilles cream, and like it's muddy. It's muddy. It's Antilles cream. It's fried plantain. It's like in any kind of dessert, any kind of sugary dessert where you burned the fuck out of that. That's what that is, man. That's what that is. You burned all that sugar. You burned it up. My dude. Oh my God. Okay, I can do that. I mean, the store's going to be closed in 15 minutes, but that's very generous of you, my dude. That's super, super. Thank you. That's super nice of you. Goddamn. She would kill me. No, here's the thing you understand. All of our whiskey goes here, except for Laphroaig. Laphroaig goes on her bookshelf in the other room. It's made very, very clear who owns what. Yeah, that Supernova is amazing. And it balances out. Like, it sounds like I'm describing something super sugary. It's balanced out by that ash, that mud, that like that little. It's not iodine. It's not iodine in the same way that maybe this one is, or like seaweedy, but it's got just a touch of that medicinalness that kind of bites at the back of your throat, gives it a nice acrid finish, a nice dry finish, and doesn't like overwhelm you with the sweet. Like it's kind of like, I would guess, off dry. It's like an off dry finish. Just enough sweet to keep you happy, keep your mouth happy. Not so sweet that it's cloying and painful. So yeah, I love Supernova. If you can buy Supernova instead of Traigh Bhan, do it. If you can buy both, that's even better. All right. Let's break out some black. Let it live. Don't poke, Eric. Yeah, it's a good call. All right, we're going in descending order of expensiveness now. So we're getting into the heavier peated, or at least younger releases. I'm glad to hear, my dude. Thank you, Richie. I'm glad you're enjoying it. AJ Lopez. Yeah, I mean, here in Wisconsin, we can't sell spirits after 9 o'clock. So we can sell beer until 10 o'clock, but pretty much nobody actually stays open to sell beer until that time. Pretty much everyone just closes, or just like cuts off their liquor just totally, because it's easier to do that than to just try and sell only beer. Is what it is. I do what, like a Scotsman? I don't know which one I do. I don't know what my behaviors are. All right. Black. You know, I gotta say, going into this, I knew this was gonna be the odd one out. And I considered not even having it in this little tasting, simply because I knew it wasn't gonna like match up to what the other ones were doing, right? Like I knew that. But it's Ardbeg. I had it here. I knew I had to bring it in. Richie, around here it was going for 310, 315, I think. No, maybe 320. I think it was 320. I will say I do dig the labeling. This is something I was talking about earlier. Come on, can we get this to focus, please? Thank you. I love that they're pushing the little dog. I think that's amazing. I think that's fantastic. Great. I keep doing that. Give me more cute stuff. Give me more cutesy stuff. Wow, really? That's crazy. Oh, $200 on release. Wow, they are marking it up like a motherfucker around here. I mean, that could be distribution too. Some of our distributors are probably marking this up before it even hits shelves. So, what are you gonna do? No, drink the bleach. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, it's the Tavern League. That's why. Tavern League. Wisconsin has a very strong Tavern League, and they want you to go get drunk at their locations. That's why. I mean, we had a lot of German immigrants. They formed a very strong Tavern League, and they wanted you to go to their beer gardens and such. And so they don't want you buying beer after a certain time. Otherwise, they don't make their money. And that has become a big lobbying group in the Wisconsin State Assembly. So, is what it is. Yeah, this one, I like dark fruit. I like grapes. I like plums. I like strawberries. I like red fruits. Don't get me wrong. But this one just doesn't work for me, you guys. The black, it just doesn't work for me. It's got a little bit of seaweed. It's got a little bit of smoke. It's got a little bit of bacon fat. But it also is just so, it's incongruous is what it is. That I just don't think that dark winey finish, that dark grapey, works super well with the the base that Ardbeg is. Yeah, I don't think this is bad. I don't think this is bad at all. I think this is a fine whiskey. But I think it also just doesn't quite, it doesn't match other Ardbegs. It's very jammy on the finish. It's super, super like jam. And it's not like blackcurrant jam, which is my preferred thing. It's more like just straight up grape sweet jam. I think it's okay. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. I think it could have been a lot better. I think it's fine, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Oh, that's interesting. So letting it sit for a day gets rid of the petrol. That's interesting. That's kind of fun. I mean, that's good to know. I'll have to try that. Like I say though, sometimes I like the petrol. Sometimes I don't mind the petrol, but that's me. Oh man, yeah. People really need that beer. Speaking of, Ren Rev Collins is bringing up the beast. Let's break out a little beast because we're getting close to the end of our time together. If we run over a little bit, that's okay. I don't want to cut into the Scotch for Dummies time though, because that's rude. That would be rude of me. But let's break out a little beast. Andrew Page says he likes the black standard. Black, sorry, excuse me. Reminded me of Port Charlotte 10, and it was better than the Port Charlotte 10 and it's blind side by side. That's interesting. Hold on. Let's break up some Port Charlotte 10. Let's do a quick comparison. Let's break it up. Okay. So we can't really do it blind because I already know which one I poured. I mean, I could switch them up, but they're different colors. It's okay. Okay. At first blush, though, I don't know. I don't really see it. Highland mating call. Hey, why do Scotsmen wear kilts? Because sheep can hear a zipper a mile away. All right. Yeah, I don't really get that. This one, more phenolic, more punchy, a little bit, touch more nutty, I guess. A little bit of that. It's got a little fruity note, but this is just so fruity. This is so grapey. So jammy, man. Yeah. Let's see about the taste. The taste is a little more similar. You get a little bit of raisiness on the Port Charlotte 10. But this is the black is much more fresh fruit, big ripe fruit, super dark, treacly, almost like treacle. It's almost treacly in its sweetness. Whereas this one, more dry fruit, leans a little bit more heavy on a medicinal note. I mean, okay, I guess I kind of see what you're saying. It does have a dark fruit note, but that dry versus fresh fruit, I think, makes a huge difference. I can do them blind though. I can do them blind. All right, let's get into the Beastie real quick. You know, actually, when I first had the Beastie, I thought this was pretty friendly for a 5-year-old Isla. I thought this was pretty goddamn friendly. But coming off of these guys, it is pretty raw. It is pretty dang raw. But I like that. Because this is almost getting into, I was going to say, this is getting almost into smoked cheese. Like, there's very, very few whiskeys I find a dairy note in. Most of them have, like, Octomore 7.3 was one. Octomore 7.3 had kind of a dairy note. There was a Texas whiskey that I thought was very, I can't remember which one it was. It's okay though. There was a Texas whiskey that I thought had a really interesting kind of dairy note, but it's not common. It's really not common. But this is edging on it. This is edging into that smoked cheese kind of smell. Also, I like that Eric, I don't know if you guys can still see it, but Eric, his super chat is still up on my screen. It's still there. I can still see it. Super generous dude. Yeah, I like this one though. I really do. Let's get a taste. I think AJ was saying something. He thought it was way more creosote ashy than the Supernova. It is. That finish is very creosote. That finish is super creosote. I will say the opening is actually surprisingly fresh fruity though. That's what I think it made it so friendly. The finish is creosote. I can't. Well, let's see what's going on in the middle there. The middle is pretty it's mostly just smoky. I will say it's a bunch of smoky. The opening though I like caramel apple, like a green caramel apple. I swear to God, I think that's what made it so friendly. It's got a fresh element. It's got this interesting fresh element. Makes it friendlier. Has a little bit of that kind of bitey orchard fruit, fades into creosote and smoke without being excessively punchy. Let's compare that to the Supernova. Similar. Supernova is very similar. But the nose on the Supernova, much less profound, much less big and raw and boiling over. I gotta say, this hits you it punches you straight in the nose. This leaves you bloody. It goes up in your nose and it pops out your fucking eyeballs. Whereas I think the Supernova, more easygoing, has like a sesame seed burn, like a toasted bun kind of thing. It's not as raw. It's not as punchy. And I would agree with you, AJ. It's not as creosote-y. But it has, where this is like a caramel apple on the front, the Supernova has this interesting mix of earthy mixed with like green, like a watermelon Laffy Taffy or something like that, right? Like that note in the middle is weird. Like a note in the middle has that tropical fruit, burned plantain, like freaky burned fruit note, which Wee Beastie doesn't. That said, Wee Beastie is like $40 fucking. So, like for Wee Beastie to even go toe to toe with Supernova is a pretty good indication of, how good it is. So that's something. Run Rev Collins is heading over to Scotch for Dummies. I should probably get on out of here so y'all can go hang out with them. I did say I was going to drink some Malort though. I did promise that. Because I want to keep my promises. If you super chat me and I don't drink some Malort, then what's the point? Definitely wasn't any other reason to super chat tonight. I think Steve A just dropped the link in the chat for, I assume that's the Scotch test, or not Scotch test, Scotch for Dummies. Supernova is way more medicinal, seaside briny. I don't quite get that, but I could see what you mean. Richie Z says he'll stay till we're done. I mean, here's the thing. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I try not to. I could keep going. Here's the thing. If you want to go watch Scotch for Dummies, totally cool. Go do that. Totally support that. I love you. Get on out of here. Go watch Scotch for Dummies. But I'm not quite done tasting these. So whoever wants to hang out, you can stay here for a minute. I'll try not to go too long. If you want to go watch Scotch for Dummies, totally understandable. But yeah. So first of all, let's make this. I'm sorry, I'm running over. I know I said an hour. I said it was just going to be an hour, but then I'm running over. I had things I wanted to do, and so I ended up kind of running lots. Just watch both. Oh, well, thank you, Steve A. That's nice of you. All right. Let's at least finish this up. So we got our Malort. We got to do a peated Malort. Which one of these should I use for my peated Malort? I don't know which I should do. What if we do it? Let's try some. Should we do the Ardbeg Black? Should we do some Ardbeg Black? Into boutique? All right, people are saying boutique. All right, let's try some boutique in this. Boutique is pretty goddamn iodine and smoke forward. Maybe more so than the Supernova. Maybe more so than the Supernova. Supernova is more punchy, but in a different way. All right, so that's a Malort to this fella. Somewhere, Christina Zerpoli is crying right now. Like every time I do something like this, Christina Zerpoli is just weeping audibly. Let's see how this turned out. I don't hate this, you guys. I really don't hate this. Yeah, that's true. People should have options. The Ardbeg Master Distiller is probably crying too. And I think Andrew Buchanan just popped in. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Buchanan? Named for one of our most famous Scots-Irish presidents. Or may probably not. For a properly sized... You know what? I've already been kidnapped by her. It wasn't as bad as people think. Once you get over the electric shocks. Oh, there it is. There it is. No, there it is. There it is. Whoo. Okay. The nose on that, the Ardbeg took over the nose. It was beautiful. Like a touch of black licorice with Ardbeg. Like it was like if Ardbeg made a rye, right? If Ardbeg made a rye, that might be what the nose would be on this. Just a little bit of black licorice, like, but still peaty, bacon fat, iodine, touch of like a. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say about this? Oh, what's the spice I'm thinking of? Coriander. It actually came out being like a little bit coriander. Yeah, the nose was not bad. The finish on the taste, though, was all Malort. There was no Ardbeg left in that motherfucker. That was all fucking Malort. Andrew Pate. Wait, is this true? Is this real? Are you joking around with me? I can't tell. I didn't hear that. Is this actually real? Wait, okay. D-Fink is saying there was the distillery manager who retired. Wait, what? Who retired? Did Mickey Heads retire? William Davlar saying it's true. Holy shit! Really? Oh man, I did not hear. I was at work all day. I haven't really been checking anything. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, okay. People are saying he's out. Well, I mean, oh, and they're releasing a special bottle in his honor. That's exciting. Well, good for him. Good for him. Like it's always sad when you hear about someone like, moving on into the next phase of their life, because it's like we got so used to them being part of the fabric of whatever of the distillery, but like, yeah, I mean, good for him. Everyone deserves a nice rest. Yeah, okay, but this blend pretty bad. Also, did Ben say that earlier? Oh, I completely missed that. I'm bad at things. Sorry, guys. I'm bad at things. Ardbeg, yeah. It's really not bad until the finish. The finish is just so bitter. Also, I forgot to tell everyone, I reached out to CH Distillery. I still don't know if I'm supposed to call them Chicago Distillery or CH, but whichever. But this is weirdly timed that we're doing this stream when it turns out he just retired. That's nuts. Anyway, I reached out to CH Distillery, and they're open to coming on the show. They're open to coming on the show. So we'll see how that goes. I got a hold of one of their reps here in Milwaukee, and he's willing to pop on the show with some of the people from the distillery. So yeah, that could be a really fun stream. That could get really interesting. Charles Ashworth, I do not have any more of that. Thank God that is gone. Yeah, their bourbon's not bad. If you saw did I do a review? I thought I did a review of this. It's not bad. It's really not bad. It's solid for a $20 whiskey. So, all right. Where was I though? Okay. Let's circle back. Let's circle back to the one that started it all. Traigh Bhan. Yeah, it's interesting though. Coming back to this one. This is fucking floral compared. Coming back from all of these plus Ardlort. Coming back this one is fucking floral. This one is so crisp and daffodilly and honey, like honeydew melon now. Woo! I mean, this has become so much more easygoing. Yeah. There's still some ash. There's still some iodine. There's definitely still iodine. But this has gone, like, because we started with this one was so peaty when we started. The Traigh Bhan, the new one, number 2. In case anyone just popped in. But yeah, this was so much more peaty when we started. Now that we've gone through the lineup and come back, this is super sweet. This is like, if you've ever gone, like the other night, I went from drinking a super dry rye, and then I went to like Teeling single grain. Teeling single grain, I don't think is a particularly sweet whiskey. Like not, and I should say this, there's a difference between sweet, like tasting notes that remind you of sweetness, and actual like sweetness, like residual, like sugars, right? There's a difference. Something can taste like cherry without having the sugars of an actual cherry, right? But when you go from like a super dry thing or a super peaty thing, and then you come back to this Ardbeg right here, this is sugary. This is sugary as a motherfucker. I gotta believe those Oloroso is not even a very sweet kind of sherry, right? It's not a sweet kind of sherry. But it, like, coming off of these, Charles Ashworth says it's not sugary. I wouldn't know. This is not sugary when you first taste it. Definitely not. No, the Traigh Bhan, fuck no. This is not sugary when you first taste it. But coming off of these ones, coming back to this, damn if that doesn't taste sugary to me. I swear to God. I'm telling you, that tastes like a lightly peated Speyside or something. Hey, Stephen Connor, how you doing? Oh, Teeling single grain. Right, no, I don't think it's sugary either. It's not. I would agree it's not very sugary. It's fruity and it's got some like carameliness, but it's more spicy than sugary. It's just weird coming back to it after something else, and it completely changes your perception of it. Richie Z is saying we should have Whiskey Central on. Yeah, that would be fun. We did have her on. That's Shayla. We did have Shay on for our Johnny Walker cocktail night. She did come on for that, but I'd love to have her on again. No, you're right. Distillation doesn't leave residual sugar. No, it doesn't. And I should have said that differently. Sugars are derived from the cask. Absolutely. It's wood sugar. Absolutely. I was thinking more in terms of wine. Like when you have a wine that has residual sugar, that tastes sweet, right? Residual sugar does not make it through distillation, for sure. For sure. It comes from the cask, which is funny because Oloroso, not a very sweet sherry. This is coming off very sweet now that I'm coming back to it. So take that for what you will. But Eric, you're totally right. Okay. So for all of our people who gave a super chat tonight, here's some Malort for you. Or was that the Malort mix? I think it was the Malort mix. Yep, that's the full Malort. Oh no, I'm gonna. Oh, I shouldn't have janked those in quick succession. Oh, that was bad. That was bad. Ow. Oh, D-Pink's got to go to bed. Totally fair. I'm about to finish up anyway. Yes, we need to do another one with everybody. But before we go, we got to do a blend because this is how we finish streams here on the Rock Gut Review. We got to do a little blend. I got to say, final thoughts on the Traigh Bhan. If you can get Supernova, buy that instead. I think buying Supernova rather than the Traigh Bhan makes perfect sense. And honestly, for the value, Wee Beastie is fantastic. I think Wee Beastie goes toe-to-toe with Traigh Bhan. Or not Traigh Bhan, with Supernova. Which is crazy because it's super young. But Traigh Bhan is super good. It's super interesting. I think it is a very interesting expression of Ardbeg. However, if I were going to choose another Ardbeg, I would probably not buy this first. I would go for this one, or even like Wee Beastie. Honestly, I really would, just for value. This is a really good whiskey. It's fun to drink. It's really interesting. I think it's going to be fun for me and Erica to do a more full review once we sit down and do a review together, and this is opened up a little bit. We'll see if my opinion changes then. But overall, I would probably still buy this. It would not be my first choice in the Ardbeg line. I think that's where I'm at with it. No, Malort is not allowed. Malort is a liqueur. Not allowed in Swilmageddon. So, also, I need to get back to everyone about Swilmageddon. We have had a ton of entrants. Like, more than I expected. Enough that we're at least going to be able to do 2 rounds, maybe 3. So I'm going to get back to everyone who entered by email. But until next time, this is our blend of all the whiskeys. We'll add a little Malort just because that's how we do. That's how we do on the Rock Gut Review. And I'm going to call it a night. Went a little longer than I expected, but we needed time. We needed time to taste all these delicious Ardbegs. Make sure to tune in next week. Erica will be back, and we're going to announce someone who will be the judge of our secret thing that definitely didn't happen. All right? If you were here earlier, you know what I'm talking about. All right? All right. Until next time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go down there, like it, hit the like button, and stay safe, stay healthy, and stay rotten.